You're doing an interview. Maybe it's a suspect, maybe it's the friend of somebody who's done something wrong. Maybe you're just conducting an interview and you come across someone who says something or makes an accusation about your client. How do you handle this? I'm Larry Kaye, shadowanyone.com, and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, Premium Private Investigator Training, from someone who's been there and done that. Now, if someone's making an accusation and you're working directly for a company, you have to follow the company policy, of course. Human Resources frequently has guidelines laid down for accusations, things like that. The company may have policy. And you have to stay within the law, of course. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just going to give you a little bit of how I've handled these things in the past. When you're dealing with someone who's done something wrong, they will take dramatic and desperate actions, including accusing people of things they didn't do, terrible things, just to try to get out of sometimes what's a fairly small problem. And so here's how I have handled this in the past. Once the person makes the accusation, and maybe you're working a case and your client they make an accusation against your client, I always feign surprise and say, wow, that's not the side of the story I'm getting. That's the first I'm hearing of that. I guess it makes sense that they wouldn't tell me about that. It's pretty significant. Here, write that down. We want to get this documented. Make sure that you're protected. And I slide the pad of paper and pen across them, or hand them the pad and paper and have them write down the accusation. What this does, and I'm presuming here that the person's making a false accusation. I'm not talking about tricking innocent people or real victims. The victim is a victim, and that needs to be respected. I'm talking about people who are making false accusations against innocent people. What this does by having them write it down is it locks them into that false accusation. Now they can't change the story. So if they say, well, so-and-so came up to me in the parking lot and touched me inappropriately or pushed me or whatever it might be, they're locked in. They can't change that statement. If you pull parking lot footage off of a camera or find witnesses who, wait, we were out there in a parking lot, nothing like that happened, then you have evidence that the statement is false or evidence that goes against the statement. If it's written, they're locked into it. If they just made the accusation out loud, they're going to say later, well, you misheard me, or I misspoke, that, and it's your word against their word, that, well, I said that it happened in the building and you're saying that it happened outside. Once it's written down, they're locked into it, and that's going to help your client a great deal, your client being the person who truly is the victim here, being accused of something that they didn't do. This is Larry Kaye, shadowanyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.